The 2023-24 Premier League season is set to hit the airwaves, and just like every other season, it's coming with a few package changes. Players will have more family time, refs will have more power, and goalkeepers... Yeah, it's pretty weird, but you'll want to stick around because these changes are about to ruffle some feathers. But hey, let's start up with something that has posed a challenge to defenders. We're talking about the new rule that has to do with the way unsporting behaviour is judged and consequently punished. You see, players won't get red cards anymore for denying a goal-scoring opportunity if the referee thinks they are attempting to get the ball on purpose. For instance, a defender could make a tackle that could result in a penalty, but if the referee sees that the player was trying to get the ball and didn't mean to hurt anyone, they won't be kicked out of the game. So as long as it was an honest effort to reach the ball, the player won't face the usual consequences. Needless to say that defenders will be more confident in tackling an opponent, but it's important to remember that it will all depend on what the referee thinks. After all, referees might make different choices for the same foul. Well, players are now excited over a lot of things, especially this new rule. Starting this new season, players will get more playing minutes on average, and this should come as good news to fans. FIFA introduced this idea during the Men's World Cup in the winter of 2022, and now the English FA have adopted it. Before the World Cup, former referee Pierluigi Collina, now associated with FIFA, raised a concern. He said approximately 9 minutes are usually used up by throw-ins in a match, a duration similar to goal kicks. On average, matches in the World Cup saw a lengthy average stopping time of around 12 minutes. Time wasting also became a big topic in English football last season, and teams like Brentford and Newcastle United were known for using tactics that slow down games. In fact, last season, the ball was in play for around 54 minutes and 49 seconds in an average Premier League game. That's less than an hour of real action in a game that should last about an hour and a half. But thanks to this new rule, every second wasted in goal celebrations, injuries and other things will now be added after each half of football. The goal is to make sure players spend more time actually playing during matches. It's not going to be business as usual, so expect refs to blow the whistle around the 100th minute. Speaking of refs, this next rule aims to keep them safe. Managers and staff usually act aggressively towards the fourth official, but all of this is about to change. Starting the 2023-24 season, only one person will be allowed to stand in front of the technical area and the coach. That person is the only one who can speak to the fourth official at any given time. Others must stay by the dugout. And if there's a quick talk, that person must go back to the dugout. Teams cannot use technology to challenge the referee's decisions. The goal is to stop the bad behaviour and rude words that referees near the technical area have faced in past seasons. So, if your coach acts aggressively, he might get a red card, and getting sent off means you can't watch the game from the stands anymore. Instead, you must be out of sight of the pitch. Seems tough, huh? But not like this next rule, because players are getting pumped already. The Premier League is set to have its first ever official winter break. This is a big deal because coaches and players have been complaining about tight and tough fixture schedules. Compared to other leagues, the EPL teams have had a lot of matches without much time to recover. Premier League teams that make it to the European competitions play in 4 tournaments each season. Meanwhile, their counterparts in France, Spain and Germany compete in 3. And what's more, these teams in other leagues still get breaks in winter. But Premier League teams? Nah, it has never happened. But things will be totally different this time around. The league is set to have a 14-day break between January and February 2024. This gives players a chance to relax halfway through the season. And this makes a lot of sense because the players and managers have been clamoring for this for years. So everyone is pretty much happy right now, but definitely not the unruly fans. Of course, fans are a big part of the game, but they have to be responsible. This means legal action will be taken against anyone found guilty of using offensive slogans or chants in the stadiums. Lately, some fans have been in a habit of making awful chants and comments. Some even make racist remarks and jokes about tragedies. It got so serious that Erik ten Hag and Jurgen Klopp released a joint statement. They pleaded with fans not to chant about tragedies like the Munich air disaster or Hillsborough. There are lines that should not be crossed, the statement read. The league is not smiling either. They've asked the UK's Crown Prosecution Service to help with the problem of chanting about tragedies. We might see legal action and other punishments like a stadium ban or losing club membership, so these things might happen less from the new season. Since we're discussing rules that might take away the excitement, let's talk about the penalty distraction rule. Trust me, fans of Emi Martinez and Jersey Dudek's distraction tactics will get mad. This new rule says that goalies can't do things that make it hard for the kicker or show disrespect. So talking badly or kicking the goalposts is now a punishable offence. This is definitely going to make things less fun. Those showdowns between players and keepers before a penalty is taken is what makes the game really exciting. So while the goalies need to stay calm, the players get to do whatever they want. They can skip, jump, stagger, take their time or whatever before shooting. Yes, it gives them that mental edge, but it's really not fair. But it's high time we set the facts right about the offside rule. If a player is offside, they can't suddenly be onside just because an opponent touches the ball. This can mean that a player might still be offside even if the ball hits an opponent before coming to them. In actual fact, this rule started in the Premier League last season, but it officially became part of the rules this summer. The aim is to make the game flow smoother and not blame defenders for accidental bounces. There's a different offside rule people share online. It says a player can be onside if most of their body is even with the defender, except the furthest body part. But this rule is not used in the Premier League at the moment. FIFA will test that rule in other leagues before introducing it to the Premier League. Which is your favourite? And which do you think went a bit too far? Let us know in the comments.